So I've just finished watching Raw Edge, terrific little western from 1956, starring Rory Calhoun, who I've seen him in a few westerns there, and he hasn't been a bad one yet, and this is no exception. Terrific little film, this one. Starts off very kind of familiar storyline, but then kind of goes off on a kind of tangent of its own, an unusual kind of story thread. Basically, and it stars Rory Calhoun, as I said, and Evyone De Carlo, and Neville Brand, who's great in this film. And basically, Rory Calhoun ain't in it for the first 15 minutes. He kind of rides into the shot in about the 16th minute. It's a really character-driven western and some really great performances for the cast in this film. Basically, he plays this guy Tex, who is a former ranger, I think, and he comes to town and finds his brother's been lynched by this kind of vengeful man, Montgomery, Evyone De Carlo's husband, who's a really powerful kind of guy in this territory at this time. It's an unlawful, unruly kind of time, and he sets the law. He basically rules the roost in this place, and he's actually made his own law, this crazy law where any woman who's unmarried or becomes a widow is open for any man to take her by force, basically, which kind of backfires in this film later on in the film. So Evyone De Carlo was attacked at the ranch, and she bit her attacker, and he fled. And they grab this guy who is a kind of a rival of Montgomery and lynch him because he's got a wound in his arm, circumstantial evidence, and they lynch him. So Rory Calhoun comes and finds all this happened, and he kind of vows revenge on Montgomery, who is conveniently off doing some surveying at this time, away from his ranch, and he's left Evyone De Carlo on her own. So then you get Neville Brand, who plays this, I think he's called Tarp, this kind of, he's a great screen villain, Neville Brand, and himself and his father are working for Montgomery, but they kind of figure out that Montgomery might likely get killed in this film because there's an Indian war brewing, warpath brewing, because one of their braves was killed by one of Montgomery's men. And he is kind of cut off from his ranch out surveying, and they're hoping that either Rory Calhoun will take vengeance on him and kill him, or the Indians will come and they'll claim Evyone De Carlo for themselves. And it's quite funny because you get Rory Calhoun, this local gambler, the smooth talker from the town, and the Tarp, Neville Brand's character, and his father, who are at the ranch, supposedly protecting Evyone De Carlo, but they're all looking at each other kind of leeringly and lecherously at Evyone De Carlo, waiting to make their move. And Evyone De Carlo's kind of in a robe and trapped in a bedroom and appears at this part of the film, and you've got this Indian kind of war in the background. So they're kind of stuck in the ranch. So a lot of back and forth kind of dialogue scenes here and great characterizations. It's a really good character-driven western. Western. Rory Calhoun is really great as always, and Evyone De Carlo was sensational, I thought, in this western. She just the woman who's kind of in over her head, and she's left kind of helpless. She kind of is trying to keep away from Neville Brand and his father, obviously, but doesn't trust Rory Calhoun's character either because he wants to kill her husband, who she has lost respect for her husband after lynching the wrong man. But it's a really, really great little western, this. As I said, full of wonderful kind of characters and really well written, and looks gorgeous as well. Great, lovely little western. As I said, Neville Brand is terrific. What I like about this film is Rory Calhoun isn't really the focal point of the film. All these characters get their own time on screen and their own kind of characterization. The characters get time to build their characters on screen. And you never really know which direction this film is going to go in. If I had a criticism of it, it doesn't really build a crescendo like you normally expect a Western to. It has kind of slight jumps here and there of excitement or slight jumps of tension, and then kind of falters down again. And plus, there is kind of not the expected kind of confrontation that you would get at the end. between Montgomery and Rory Calhoun. Instead, you have a confrontation with Neville Brand and his father, and that's fine as well. It's well done and very entertaining. So I really enjoyed this western. It's a terrific little watch. Never, I think I might have heard it, or mixing the title up with another western, but yeah, a great little western, full of great little scenes, and as I said, you never really know how it's going to pan out or where it's going to go really. And the actors were great. Neville Brand, terrific. I'm glad he gets a really good, juicy role here, because in most of the other westerns he just gets little kind of cameo baddie roles, but he's a very capable actor in this film. And I forget the actor's name who plays his father is terrific also. And I think he's called Rex something, who plays the gambler. He's really great too. But Evyone De Carlo was a standard in this film. She kind of plays this. She doesn't know who to turn to. She's kind of cornered about on all sides, and she's afraid for her life. And it's really great western. So that's Raw Edge. If you've never seen it, check it out. Surprisingly, it only gets about 6 on IMDb scores and 3 points something on other platforms. I don't know why. I thought this was a 7 out of 10 western every day of the week. Yeah, terrific little western. Don't know if it's based on a book or anything, but I couldn't see that anywhere. But yeah, check it out. Raw Edge from 1956. Cracking little, kind of different western than normal.